Hi, everyone. Today, I would like to read out of this book. Oh, I have to keep it in front of me. A New Earth by Eckhart Tolle. And so I'm going to read out of chapter 7, Finding Who You Truly Are. I think a lot of people want to know who they truly are. And they think that when they know who they are, that they will have a better life. So let's see what Eckhart has to say about that. Know thyself. These words are inscribed above the entrance to the temple of Apollo at Delphi, site of the sacred oracle. In ancient Greece, people would visit the oracle hoping to find out what destiny had in store for them, or what course of action to take in a particular situation. We still do that. We still want to go out and find the source that is going to tell us what to do, because that is comfortable. It is likely that most visitors read those words as they enter the building without realizing that they pointed to a deeper truth than anything the oracle could possibly tell them. And so it says, know thyself. They may not have realized either that no matter how great the revelation or how accurate the information they received, it would ultimately prove to be of no avail, would not save them from further unhappiness and self-created suffering if they fail to find the truth that is concealed in that injunction, know thyself. So what those words imply is this: before you ask any other question, first ask the most fundamental question of your life. Who am I? Unconscious people, and many remain unconscious, trapped in their egos throughout their lives, will quickly tell you who they are: their name, their occupation, their personal history, the shape and state of their body, or whatever else they identify with. Others may appear to be more evolved because they think of themselves as an immortal soul or divine spirit, but do they really know themselves, or have they just added some spiritual sounding concept to the content of their minds? Knowing yourself goes far deeper than the adoption of a set of ideas or beliefs. Spiritual ideas and beliefs may at best be helpful pointers, but in themselves, they rarely have the power to dislodge the more firmly established core concepts of who you think you are, which are part of the conditioning of the human mind. Knowing yourself deeply has nothing to do with whatever ideas are floating around in your mind. Knowing yourself is to be rooted in being instead of lost in your mind. I think that's a very, very interesting beginning of this chapter, because it is something we don't learn. Nobody taught us ever to go inside and figure out who we really are. We are identifying with how other people see us. I am talking to you and I have this color of hair and I'm wearing a green shirt, and you think that this is who I am. But that's totally not true. So there's way more to it. And we never learn how to go inside and figure out who we really are. So who do you think you are? Your sense of who you are determines what you perceive as your needs and what matters to you in your life. And whatever matters to you will have the power to upset and disturb you. You can use this as a criterion to find out how deeply you know yourself. What matters to you is not necessarily what you say or believe, but what your actions and reactions reveal as important and serious to you. This is so crucial. What matters to you is not necessarily what you say or believe, but what your actions and reactions reveal as important and serious to you. What does it really mean? So you may want to ask yourself the questions: what are the things that upset and disturb me? And again, if you already ask yourself those questions, it means that you're already on the path of transformation, because usually people are not aware to the level that they will ask themselves, what is really upsetting me? What is really disturbing me? And then also do something with that. People know, oh, this is annoying. If I'm in traffic and there is somebody like cutting me off, that's disturbing me. That's the action that's disturbing me. Well, what does that really mean? So if small things have the power to disturb you, like somebody cutting you off, a small thing, then who you think you are is exactly that, small. I was like a little taken back when I read that. I'm like, whoa, and it's so true. You're like, human beings just give it away. That will be your unconscious belief. So it's not even who you are, it's who you think you are, and your actions are showing it in the world, okay? What are small things? Ultimately, all things are small things because all things are transient. You might say, I know I am an immortal spirit, or I'm tired of this mad world and peace is all I want. Something that we are living right now. Until the phone rings. Bad news, the stock market has collapsed. The deal may fall through. The car has been stolen. Your mother-in-law has arrived. The trip is canceled. The contract has been broken. Your partner has left you. They demand more money. They say it's your fault. Whatever you identify with, I would say I identify with a couple. Suddenly, there is a surge of anger, of anxiety. A harness comes into your voice. I can't take any more of this. You accuse and blame, attack, defend, justify yourself. Because you see, this is the thing. Even when you don't blame, but you start justifying yourself, it's the same thing. It's still something that bothers you. I think I have that. Like I start justifying myself. I'm like, I did that and that, but the whole thing. And it's just stupid stuff, because why would you defend yourself if you're completely at peace? Okay. Suddenly, there's an urge of anger or of anxiety. A harness comes into your voice. I can't take any more of this. You accuse and blame, attack, defend, justify yourself, and it's all happening on autopilot. That's the main thing. It just is happening because this is how you're programmed. Our programs are just rolling out in front of our eyes. We're not in charge. It's like something that just happens to us. Okay. Something is obviously much more important to you now than the inner peace that a moment ago you said was all you wanted. And you're not an immortal spirit anymore either. The deal, the money, the contract, the loss, or threat of loss are more important. To whom? To the immortal spiritual being that you said you are? No. To me, the small me that seeks security or fulfillment in things that are transient and gets anxious or angry because it fails to find it. Well, at least now you know who you really think you are. If peace is really what you want, then you will choose peace. And that is so crucial again. In every single moment, you can choose to be whatever you want to be. It's a blank slate. You can choose. You can pick. You say, I'm peace, and you're peace. But again, like, it's not that simple. It's an easy thing to say. But if you have to like live it also, that's another story. If peace mattered to you more than anything else in the world, and you truly knew yourself to be spirit rather than the little me, you would remain non-reactive and absolutely alert when confronted with challenging people or situations. So most of us, and I speak for myself, I am definitely not there yet. And I think most of us are not. And then it's on a scale. Like sometimes I can manage to just see it unfolding and viewing myself from the infinite being that I am. And I can see the little me like all going crazy because this is my program just rolling out. but then thank God that I have the awareness already to then just go back and say, oh, no, 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 we're not going to take that ride anymore. I'm just going to, when something happens that I feel my body reacting, but I know that, this is, something's happening here. I can sit back right now. And it doesn't mean that I'm not going through a phase of uncomfortable and anxiety, and I can even get physically sick, because now there is this, now I see it from a distance, and I'm looking at myself. I'm like, where is this coming from? And so I'm battling inside of me, because on the one hand, I know it's just a story, and on the other hand, I also feel I'm in it. Okay, so if you relate to that, just comment down below the video. I would love to hear from you how that works out for you. So you would immediately accept the situation and thus become one with it rather than separate yourself from it. Yeah, that's, sometimes I manage to do that, other times I don't. Then out of your alertness would come a response. Who you are, consciousness, not who you think you are, the small me, would be responding. It would be powerful and effective and would make no person or situation into an enemy. That's so powerful, you guys. When you get to that point, that's the moment that you feel a certain freedom and you feel that sense of peace coming over you, when you can just sit back and choose in that moment not to react and to just like let it unfold and just see what's happening. The world always makes sure that you cannot fool yourself for long about what you really think you are by showing you what truly matters to you. It shows up in your face. It's like whatever is going on, it's like pushed out and you're going to look at it. It's very interesting. How you react to people and situations, especially when challenges arise, is the best indicator of how deeply you know yourself. And you know, because of how we are raised, when things like this happen, we start judging ourselves, and other people are judging us. And so when other people are judging us for our behavior or for whatever is going on, we even feel more insecure. But it's all little stuff. It is only there to show us what's going on inside of us, and that we can transform it. We can change it. This is the goal. This is the whole purpose of life. We are transforming, and we're on that journey to realize who we really are. And so nobody, like, there, you can point into a certain direction, but it is going to be different for everybody. So when you hear my words, everybody will hear something differently, because you see it through the lens of your little me. Okay. How you react to people and situations, especially when challenges arises, is the best indicator of how deeply you know yourself. The more limited, the more narrowly egoic the view of yourself, the more you will see, focus on, and react to the egoic limitations and unconsciousness in others. Their faults, or what you perceive as their faults, become to you their identity. This means you will see only the ego in them, and thus strengthen the ego in yourself. Instead of looking through the ego in others, you are looking at the ego. Who is looking at the ego? The ego is you, the ego in you. Very unconscious people experience their own ego through its reflection in others. When you realize that what you react to in others is also in you, and sometimes only in you, you begin to become aware of your own ego. At that stage, you may also realize that you were doing to others what you thought others were doing to you. That's a tough one, no? I think that's a tough one. I'm going to read it again. At that stage, you may also realize that you were doing to others what you thought others were doing to you. Wow, that's deep. You cease seeing yourself as a victim. You are not the ego. So when you become aware of the ego in you, it does not mean you know who you are. It means that you know who you are not. So important, guys. But it is through knowing who you are, not that the greatest obstacle to truly knowing yourself is removed. Nobody can tell you who you are. It would just be another concept. So it would not change you. Who you are requires no belief. In fact, every belief is an obstacle. It does not even require your realization, since you already are who you are. But without realization, who you are does not shine forth into the world. It remains in its unmanifested, in the unmanifested, which is, of course, your true home. You are then like an apparently poor person who does not know he has a bank account with $100 million in it. And so his wealth remains an unexpressed potential. Okay, so this was page 185 till 189 in Eckhart Tolle's book. So it is so interesting to start the process of self-realization. And in order to do so, it is very, it is like, how am I going to say this? It is helpful if you know how your mind works, how your body works in regards to self-realization, how the laws of the universe work in regards of self-realization, because knowledge is power. And I understand that you don't need that, because there's nothing to learn, there's nothing to do, there's nothing to look for. It just is. And I know that, but I also know that my whole life I was seeking, I was reading, I was listening, I was trying to find the way to self-realization. And of course, nothing could help me except me realizing myself, my true nature. But I also believe that the pointers, understanding where to look, is definitely helpful. So if you need help with that, I'm so happy to give you some pointers. Things that help me might help you. So just look down here, down the video, and there's a couple of tools. I have a couple of courses, and I also do one-on-one meetings. So whatever would be helpful to you, just take a look below. Have a wonderful day, you guys. Take a look at Eckhart Tolle's book. And I wish you a wonderful, wonderful life. Bye-bye.